Brad Hunter joins us from Fort Lauderdale with Metrostudy. Brad, what did you learn in the housing data today? I mean, we're in this trend. Are we still just locked in a lassitude? Is that the right word?
Well, we're stuck at a pretty low level, but the increase that was reported by the government today is somewhat confirmed by the data that we collect ourselves at the local market level. And, I think our forecast is for gradual increases through the rest of this year in housing starts.
What does Metrostudy actually do? We talked to Kay Schiller. We got an idea of that. Tell us what your expertise is.
Yeah, we're a national consulting firm that specializes in tracking residential markets, and we do it from the bottom up. We do a 100% census, if you will, of all the new home building communities in 84 MSAs around the country every quarter. So street by street, house by house, we're able to tell you how many units there are in inventory in the new home communities, how many are being absorbed, moved into, and how many are being started, and how many lots are left.
Dreaded first chart. Here's the aggregate view, folks, and I hate this phrase. I'm going to drill down. Talk about jargon. I'm going to drill down with Brad Hunter, the collapse of the new home building, and you can see it there from 2 million down to 500, 600,000, and we're just going nowhere there. What have you gleaned, Brad, that's optimism? What is the action that independent contractors, the self-employed, those builders there? So I love that footage. This guy with a tape measure, he's got, look at that tool belt he's got on. He's killing me. What's that guy with a tool belt doing right now?
Well, more construction is taking place. What's happening is builders are actually at a point where they're low, for the most part, on inventory. This is a whole different story than 2-3 years ago. Builders had way too much inventory back then. They blew it all out for the most part. There's still some builders that have some oversupply. But now they're at the point where when a new house gets purchased, they need to start construction on the next one to replace it so they don't completely run out of inventory. Inventory of finished vacant housing is down by 2/3 from the peak level. So it's really come quite a long way.
I love that footage. It's like my next day gig, I'm going to become like construction guy with a hammer. I'll wear a bow tie on the set. Brad, does it cost the same now to build a house as 10 years ago? Has there been productivity in housing in any way, shape, or form?
Of course, home construction costs went up dramatically during the boom, and now they're back to low level. There's a lot of slack, obviously, in terms of home building resources. There's slack in labor, slack in materials, and so builders are able to produce homes now at lower prices, which is what's needed, and that's partly how they're competing against these foreclosures that are out in the market. They're able to sell their homes because their prices are half of what they were during the peak of the boom in a lot of markets. Right. And with the lower construction costs, they're able to still make some money.
Here's a chart. It's an elegant chart, folks. I had a day off yesterday. Again, thanks to Pim. I did regression studies on my day off. Here we are, Brad, 1980 to 2000, a 20-year regression of the rising median home price, and then the boom right on cue from 2002. And we come back, and you can see, folks, with that little light red arrow, how we've gone through the mean reversion of a 20-year trend. Brad, what does it signal to you that we've blown through? We've overshot, thank you, Rudy Dornbush, for that phrase, that we've overshot the mean reversion. What does that mean?
Well, we've overshot in terms of home prices, and so now people can buy at bargain prices. And that's why people are starting to turn out and buy not only new homes, used homes. A lot of the investors are buying used homes. A lot of the home owners that want to buy a home to live in prefer a new home. And so they're saying, as long as the builder is competitive and they're pricing at an appropriate margin or spread or premium above the foreclosure price or the short sale price, then oftentimes they prefer to buy new. Brad, and so they're able to buy at extremely low prices.
45 seconds. Are builders buying land? Do they have an appetite within America? Do they have an appetite for land right now?
Some of them do. What happened is in the first half of 2010, there was a real land rush going on. The builders, because the tax credit was in effect, their sales were increasing. They started buying land in large amounts and paying some pretty high prices. Now they're being a lot more careful. They're being a lot more selective. Some builders still need to increase their positions and get more stores open. A lot of times their business plan, their business model requires more production. So the only way to get more production and more sales in the aggregate is to open more stores.
Wonderful. Brad Hunter, thanks so much with the Bloomberg orange polka dot tie. Thank you.